Today on episode 121 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, our media recommendations, college bowl games preview, our Week 14 NFL pick show, and the TCF top 3 of 2021 college bowl games. Let's roll. Hello and welcome to episode 121 of Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsors, Connect Roasters. Make sure to check out them on Twitter at Connect Roasters. But you can also follow us on Twitter at typical_Chicago. Head to our Facebook and Instagram pages as well. Give those pages a like. Subscribe to the YouTube. Type in Typical Chicago Fans. Hit the red subscribe button for all of our content in video form. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. You can find me on Twitter at BoomyTCF, but make sure you follow Zach at ZLiliaTCF, and of course, Maddie at schools_01. Also, it's getting closer to Christmas. Make sure you head to Beer Baseball Repeat on Instagram to pick up your TCF merch. It's the perfect gift for people. Great clothes, great prices. That's the best part. It's very customizable, lots of colors, lots of different styles. Beer Baseball Repeat on Instagram. Get you some TCF merch for people for Christmas. Boys, like I said, we're 2 weeks away from Christmas. You got all your shopping done? I
actually do this year. Well, thank goodness for Amazon. It pretty much did it for me. But I'm the type of person that will forget. So Black Friday and stuff, I made sure I got it all done at one time, so I didn't have to remember to get gifts like 2 days before Christmas, like I usually do. So I'm proud of myself.
Maddie, I know you're in dad mode. You got everything everything ready and taken care of and ready for the big day?
Can we save it for the floaters, boys?
All right.
Save it for the floaters. At least part of it. But
perfect segment.
No, a preview of that. No, I'm not ready. I'm not done. But I'm in a good spot. We'll just leave it at that. I'm
completely with you, Maddie. I've said since September I was going to start my Christmas shopping. I'm still, I'd say like 80% done right now. We're getting there. It's also
Maddie, have you been in communication with Santa?
Very much so. And again, let's save that for the floaters, boys. I got a good one coming with that. But no, man, it's been Christmas light mode. I got a couple trees strung with lights. I got the front of the house done. I got some stuff in the backyard done. Been going to a bunch of the light shows in the area and stuff because, entertains the kid for a half hour, 45 minutes. Got the Christmas music playlist is just absolutely on fire right now. Just feeling like a legendary DJ of a different world right now. But outside of that, can't complain, man. I actually think I've said it before. Like I used to just Christmas was Christmas until I had a kid, and then it was like it just flipped everything, made it a lot better. His excitement for it's pretty sweet.
Definitely changes things. I've got some last minute shopping to do, so Beer Baseball Repeat. Make sure you got the orders ready because I'm about ready to put in an order.
Yeah, you always like those websites that post like the order by X date. So when you get the Christmas guarantee.
No, for sure. And I really respect, like at the age we are now, like siblings gift, where I'm just like, let's just do gift cards. And like, we already, like, if I need something, I just go buy it, Right. So it's pretty simple in that aspect. But
overspend for the kid and a couple other people. And that's about it,
Go crazy for the nieces, and then we'll figure the rest out later, But like you said, Maddie, we got to jump into sinkers and floaters. I'll start with my sinker. And unfortunately, for the fans of this particular, activity, dozens of camels have been barred from Saudi Arabian beauty contests over Botox injections. Also news to nearly everybody, there's such thing as a beauty contest for camels. But apparently they're very big in the UAE, the United Arab Emirates. They are what they sound like. They have beauty contests for camels. I don't want to go too deep in this, but they are banning, I said, multiple dozens of camels because the owners were injecting them with Botox to make their facial features better. They compete for $66 million in prize money in these different camel beauty contests throughout the country.
Well, now you understand why they did that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You're not cheating. You're not trying. All right.
That's crazy. The amount of money that's in these camel
That's nuts.
pageants. This is crazy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's absurd. They said over 40 camels have been disqualified from the annual pageant in Dubai. So if you're a big fan of camel beauty pageants, might not be the best year for it. You know, at least you're seeing the natural, beautiful camels, not the, the Botox and facelifted camels. So I don't know, man. They're really tying down. You got to be on the lookout if you're a big camel.
It's almost like the year Major League Baseball started to crack down on steroids.
Yeah. Like, does an asterisk go next to the one that wins it this year? Like, yeah, this camel won, but like,
it's a juiced year.
Yeah, I mean, what about the previous ones? Are they going to let certain camels into the Camel Beauty Pageant Hall of Fame? I mean, I need these answers because I need Major League Baseball to give me some clarification. If they're letting Botox camels in the Camel Hall of Fame, then why can't Sammy Sosa be in the Hall of Fame? It's just ridiculous.
That's very true.
Needles everywhere, boys. Needles everywhere.
Yeah, everybody's doing it, okay?
All right, boys. Zach. I'm going to jump in on mine because it's also animal related, and I don't know if you guys talked about this one yet. I could see this being a recent wacky web story, but the snake guy in Maryland. Did you guys hear about the house that had the infestation?
Yeah, I've heard about it. I haven't talked about it yet.
Oh
that guy's an idiot.
What? Trying to smoke out. He had a snake infestation, and the key cog of this story. This was not some dump. This was like a $1.5 million house.
Yeah, this was a mansion.
Yeah, this is not a shithole. Guy had a snake infestation in the basement. They all coiled up for the winter. You know, their little their warming technique that they do. They kind of shut down. Total infestation in this house. Try smoking them out professionally. Nope, that guy didn't work. I'm going to do it on my own. Yeah, getting these hot coals going. Boom, next to a gas can or something flammable down in the basement. All of a sudden, $1.6 million up in flames. Worst part of it is, too, there's an update to the story that just came out. There's still a shitload of snakes in the remnants, too. It didn't fucking do a thing. So, not only did you lose the house,
that scares me. I heard that.
The earth at this point. You just got to drop a small nuke, clear out.
How many snakes would there have to be in order for you guys to think? Like, first of all, this guy's an idiot for lighting a church.
Four, and I'm considering burning my house down.
One.
No fucking question.
Fair. I hate snakes, too, so I'm completely with you on that.
If I see one, I'll move.
Garter snakes, any kind of snake, dude. It doesn't matter if it's big, small, dangerous, not dangerous. I don't give a shit.
I can't blame this guy for what he did.
No, you got to figure it's probably either an insurance attempt at also ridding yourselves of the snakes and then also getting, cash payout if it worked out for you. I don't think it's going to work out too well for this guy, though, when self-inflicted like that. I don't think you're going to get the insurance payout that you hope.
Yeah, because you could go through and be like, oh, it's an electrical fire. Well, where are there hot charcoals all over the floor where the snakes were?
Yeah, you don't
hard to get
cover
out
that one up, dude.
Yeah, and apparently, like what I heard, this guy like lived kind of like out in the boonies, and they just didn't have like access to put out the fire in this guy's.
Yeah, and you think about it, a $1.5 million house in the boonies is not a small roast. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That
the pictures looked like it was a blaze, dude. So
yeah, I had heard that a bunch of the snakes were still alive, like coming out of the rubble.
Brutal.
So
fucking
that's so fun. And I didn't know, like, is that a thing or like, do you smoke snakes out? I've never heard that before I heard this story.
Do whatever it takes. If you have to poison yourself and your family in the process, sometimes it's just, collateral damage, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not disagreeing. I'm completely with this guy, but if I lived in a mansion.
I'm just saying it's a venerable, it's an option. It's not the best option, obviously.
But I think okay, so here's my thought on this, Matt, is like smoke rises and snakes are on the floor. So like you go in with a flamethrower, absolutely.
They're not Yao Ming up there.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're not hanging from the rafters. That's what I would go with the flamethrower before I'd go with charcoal smoke because smoke rises.
Boomy, if there's not a fire department close by, I don't think this guy's just got a flamethrower.
Okay, well then something that's not smoke because I think smoking might be one of the dumbest decisions he made.
Poison's the only option.
Yes.
You gotta poison them. And
moving.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that too.
You get all the snakes out professionally, and then you sell the house immediately.
In the first place for him anyway, so sucks to be that guy.
Yeah, I don't envy that guy at all.
All right, my sinker, boys, is real Christmas trees. Not a fan. Never have been a fan, and I can't believe that it. I don't know. You think about it. To take a tree from outside, bring it in your house.
Yeah.
Doesn't that seem like there's just gonna be bugs and stuff?
Yeah, that just seems like I think Jim Gaffigan said it. He's like, isn't that like the behavioral patterns of a drunk person? Like
What's
bringing
wrong with a fake Christmas tree you can just
nothing.
bring
I will
upstairs?
die on that hill. I'm
Already
not
has lights on it. Easy. Put
It's a
some ornaments
consensus.
on it.
I'm
We're good.
1,000% fake tree.
Yeah,
1,000%.
TCF is officially hashtag team fake tree.
Yeah, don't let Pigoy ruin it with his real trees either. I bet he's a real tree guy.
Oh,
He's got
my
two little
gosh.
kids. I don't know.
Pigoy, when you're listening to this, let us know because this is.
Pigoy,
if you,
we're gonna need an early response on this.
I feel like he's a real Christmas tree.
Yeah.
We're a two fake tree household. We're a two fake tree household. That's how fake tree we roll.
I respect that a lot. I'm going to text Pigoy right now.
I have multiple fake trees in my house.
Yes.
And especially like my father-in-law used to have a real Christmas tree, and he has a pretty nice house, and he has a giant like stain on his like 10-foot ceilings because one year like the tree kept falling down and he got pissed off and threw it out the front window, went to get a new one, brought it in, stood it up the wrong way, and just drugged like sap all the way across the ceiling.
We have a fantastic blue spruce out in the front yard that I strung lights on this year, and that's a real Christmas tree, and that's the way they should be, is out fucking side.
Yes. We also don't we have a tree crisis in this world? Like we're talking about,
Yeah, you got to restore the oxygen.
Yeah, what are we doing? We have the technology for fake Christmas trees. Why are we cutting down nature?
Yeah, and it's recycling. Think about all those plastic bottles that could be going to waste and turned into beautiful Christmas trees. I think we're onto something.
Absolutely. I mean, let's think about the environment here. All right, we got the text to Pigoy. We're going to find out if he is a real or fake Christmas tree. I'm going to jump into my floater while we wait, and my floater is skiing Santas. Shout out to Newry, Maine. They have a tradition called Sleighing with Santa, and it's a bunch of skiers and snowboarders. Every year they go down the hill, the big mountain, and skis and snowboards dressed up as Santa. Unfortunately, it got canceled last year due to COVID, but it is back. So if you want to see 230 people skiing in full blown, like full on Santa suits, Newry, Maine is where you need to go. One of those stories just kind of gets you in the feeling for the season. You see the picture is great. There's like 50 people just screaming down this hill dressed up as Santa. Just really kind of nails the point home that Christmas is 2 weeks away. I love it.
That is crazy that Christmas is 2 weeks away. It's also on a Saturday, which sucks.
Yeah, I like it.
Boomy's off.
I like my Christmas when I can have a day off.
Yeah,
Boomy's off till February, so who cares?
What does Boomy care?
Yeah, I got to get through next Friday, and then I get 2 weeks off. So
I took the week off after Christmas, so I got a nice long break there.
Good thinking, Maddie.
This guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I first year I've done that move, and I'm pumped about that. I'm not gonna lie.
Maddie, what's your floater?
Let's see, my floater, and I it's more of an update to a
long-awaited
a couple weeks ago. It's the supply chain battle update, and I was 1-0 early on in the season. Had a battle with the supply chain again this week, and boys, I am now 2-0. Riding the wave, things are looking good. I got confirmation from Santa of production of gifts is done. The production's done.
Wow.
Got the notice from him that assuming the little guy
what an insight
keeps his behavior on par.
Very important.
The gifts numbers 1 and 2 on the list are confirmed. We'll just put it that way. So, shout out Santa, if you know what I mean. Shout out Santa. Yes, so we're looking good on the supply chain battle. It's weird though, dude. You go to like Target and the fucking shelves are just cleared out of the toys.
Unbelievable.
Like, you go to like Target and you walk past the toy aisle and you see the Hot Wheels shelf and there's just upwards of 700 cars for $4 a crack on the shelves. They just stack them on top of each other. Completely empty right now. Just these little cheap cars. That's how much they're just everything is gone right now. But got the 2 big ones right now. I know that. Got a bunch of small ones coming on the way too. So should be in good shape for the big day here in a couple weeks. To answer your question earlier, no, not everybody is done. But
You're
we're
pretty
working.
much
Go a long
done.
way.
There's a lot of people to buy the older you get. I'm just going to tell you that. So.
Hey, the liquor stores open very late. People love liquor, so
It's always a go-to. It's always a good go-to.
Unfortunately, though, it might get drank before you give it to them, though.
yeah, you got to hide it from yourself almost.
Yeah, it's like that's never a that's never a guarantee. We'll just say that.
The
That is
thrill
true.
of the confirmation has to be awesome.
Oh, delivered a day early to the workshop is what I was told too. So, yeah, he got everything completed a day ahead of schedule.
What a guy.
Wow.
Pretty
What a guy.
pumped about that one.
Good job, Santa.
Yep.
My floater is
Guy's undefeated, really, when you think about it. Like, think how far back his winning run is. He's on like a 6,000-year winning streak, roughly.
Yeah, he's had a run, and it's not stopping anytime
people
soon.
make that guy look good.
He's the Michael Jordan of Christmas delivery figures.
Yeah, he's better than he's like the Kim Jong-un playing basketball. Like he is legitimately undefeated.
Literally,
Kim Jong-un's never lost.
Let's
Vladimir
not compare
Putin playing
Santa.
hockey.
Yeah,
They've
he's not
never
a communist,
lost.
Boomy.
What
Jesus
Boomy?
Christ! I get. Maybe he is. He's spreading the wealth,
Guys.
sharing his joy everywhere. That's the idea, right?
Yeah, exactly. Spreading it around.
Where's your brain at when you compared those two? What are
we don't want to get into that aspect of this. Is going to be a long show.
My floater is poker. I've had 3 poker nights now at my house. I'm having a tournament on Friday. If you're in the area, join us. We'll be watching the Rough and Rowdy. But it's just awesome. I haven't played. I played poker when I was like probably 10 or 11. It was always fun, but I kind of stopped playing for 4 or 5 years or whatever. And I had a buddy hit me up, seeing if I wanted to do it. It's awesome. It's just nice to have some people over. It's not like you could play for a long time.
Yeah.
It's not like blackjack or something like that. It's not quick. It's slow, and you can have a conversation. You can take breaks every once in a while. If you fold, you can kind of get up and walk around for a little bit if you got enough people. And it's just nice. I don't know. It's just, you get 6, 7 guys that you don't see all the time. We try doing it once a week. It's just enjoyable. Something I think everyone should try and do. Not just saying poker, but bowling, something like that in the wintertime. Especially with it getting dark and stuff so early.
It's
nice
to
to look
kind of cloister up and not leave the house and not see people. That's a good way to do it.
Coming from somebody who understands, you don't want to sit around. You want to figure out some things to do throughout the week. So I think that's something you can. I think it's poker. You can have 4 or 5 people come to your house one night. That's as easy as that.
Yeah, absolutely. Good little communal building there for sure.
I always enjoyed playing poker. It's just like you said, I hadn't played in a while, but in Texas Hold'em, it's so I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's not complicated. There's 10 different things that you can get.
You guys ever play like Omaha Hold'em? That's really fun too. That's a lot of fun.
No, I would like to. I would like to get into playing like different kinds of poker and
Omaha's
stuff.
Great. It's a really fun game.
I know how to play zero poker. I'm attempting to learn.
Yeah, Boomy. I've invited Boomy. He said, "Oh, I don't know how to play poker." Not complicated.
I'm not a card guy at all. I don't know how to play euchre either. So
yeah, I don't know how to play euchre.
That one's a little more complicated than Texas Hold'em.
Yeah, I don't have the patience to learn that game. I can tell you that right now. Poker's fun though.
That one takes a little bit.
If we can get a gin rummy night going, I'm all in. I'm really good at gin rummy.
Do you want me to invite Grandma?
I mean, whatever. I mean, I like gin rummy.
Gin rummy night? What are we doing here? We're playing poker with me.
I'm just saying, it's one game I know how to play. Or Uno, I'm definitely in for an Uno night.
Getting the Uno tournament going.
Oh, I'm all in on an Uno tournament. I love Uno. 100% in. Let's jump into it. The TCF Sports Minute. Unfortunately, the Bulls did drop one tonight to the Cavaliers.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Bulls are the reason that I will not be gambling for a while, because put a heavy wager on them tonight. Unfortunately, it wasn't even close.
Yeah, it was a blowout from the beginning. The record's still 17. I believe it's 17-10. They're right there at the top of the Eastern Conference. Now, the big thing is right now, lots of guys out, injuries, COVID, all that good, all that stuff going on. And it's one of those, it's going to be a struggle for a little bit. And obviously, I think a lot of teams are kind of going through this. But it was a really, really nice win the other night when you're able to come out and get one even without DeMar DeRozan. I believe that was the Nuggets, if I'm not mistaken. But this one's tough. I mean, the Cavaliers are better than they have been, but they're not a good team. Like I saw someone on Twitter, hopefully you don't see the Cavaliers in the playoffs. I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Give me a break.
Yeah. So I mean they're improved, but they're still.
We don't have DeMar DeRozan, Caruso, Kobe White. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's you got to get right. They were, I believe, one of the first couple teams that have been able to. I think there's like a thing you can ask for an exemption that you can sign someone because they were down so many on the active roster. They're going to activate Stanley Johnson. Apparently, he's been playing really well for the, I think, South Bay Lakers in the G League. So we'll see. But you just kind of got to go through it right now and get everybody back, healthy and ready when it's really important, but obviously you don't want to be dropping games. It's kind of like the Houston game. You don't want to be dropping games to the Cavaliers. So, that part.
It's kind of a spot in the season. You kind of just got to get through at this point because you're going to get guys back. You'll have DeRozan back. You'll have them back. But at this point, they're going to be out for a week or so. So just kind of the schedule isn't that hard coming up either. They have one of the easier schedules going forward for a little bit here.
Seems like they've played a ton of the good teams early on.
Yeah, very true. They've already swept the Nets, right?
I think they played them twice.
They swept them, right?
Yeah, they beat them twice. And also, Zach, we were watching the game the other night. It was the first time the Bulls have beaten the Nuggets 2 times in a season since Michael Jordan played for the Bulls. That's absurd.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
But you just got to weather the storm right now, get through it, and maybe you can get through it enough with the guys you have against, especially like with a down schedule, and just keep chugging away. You're going to have these bad nights, nothing to freak out about. The Blackhawks sitting at 9-14-2 at the bottom of the Central. It's not bottom because the Coyotes exist, but. Matt, anything on the Blackhawks? I saw there was a really, really bad injury last night. Guy got carted off. What do you got on the Hawks for us?
Jacob
that was
Struble,
scary.
He laid him out. Sounds like everything it should be okay long term for him. New guy that he just called up. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name. He hasn't been with the roster real long, but this team's kind of just been spinning their wheels, unfortunately. It's the same thing. Last night against the Rangers, they're up, take an early lead, they give it right back, get back up, tie game into the third. All of a sudden, they give a power play goal. It's 3-2.
Gets out of hand.
2 more empty netters later, and it's a 5-2 loss. And it's just like the same story over and over with this team. It's just like they have talent, but it's just it's just not working. It at some point, it's like, all right, let's just hit the reset button to a point where, you got Seth Jones locked up long term. You got the guy in the blue line that you need, to anchor a team long term. You need to start building around the back end a little bit more. They need more help. You can't just rely on Fleury all the time. It's not going to win you games night in and night out. Like it's too much to ask. Not getting the offensive production you expect. Jonathan Toews has just not been the same player, and it's just the way it is. He's getting older. He's had obviously some health issues over the years. Still great defensively, but he's not the offensive force that he once was. Let's be real. He's just not.
Matt, I got to ask on that note, like obviously Toews is not having the year that, we kind of expected him to bounce back on. Do you think the Blackhawks are going to get to the point where they look at trading him or Kane? I mean, we've got to be realistic about it. But right now you're not going to get much for him.
They've both got no movement clauses. So that's really up to them. Kane has kind of said he doesn't have any wish to go anywhere. And the thing is, at their point, they've done everything in their career that they need to. You know, they're
True.
both going to be Hall of Famers. They've got 3 cups. They've got, you know, award after award after award. Taves has got a Selke. Kane's got a Hart. You know, it's like they've both been, you know, all-star players, Olympians, medalists in the Olympics. You know, they don't have much to accomplish at this point. They've got nice checks. They're comfortable in Chicago. They own the city. You know, they're going to be heroes. They're going to have statues out, you know, out in front of the United Center when they're done.
Right.
And so they don't have a whole lot of impetus to leave, in my opinion. So unless they just get that last hair up their ass to go win another cup somewhere, that would be, I think, the only reason that they would ever push the issue. Do I think they should approach him? Maybe, yeah. I just don't know what you're going to get for Taves anymore. Like he's making a lot of money, and the production isn't what you want at that cost. It's just not.
Yeah.
You need more offensive production at that kind of dollar range. He's obviously phenomenal in the locker room. He's going to be a great captain material anywhere he would play at. So I don't mean anything negative about that. He's just not like the same offensive force. Let's just be real. He's just not. Like he's not that explosive, you know, down the middle, put the pressure on the goaltender, get the kind of dirty goals when he needed to, and just kind of, you know, own the center of the ice when it in stretches of play. Like he just dominated the middle for so long, and it's just not what he once was. So it's probably injuries. You know, he's played a lot of hockey. Let's not kid ourselves.
A lot of miles on those legs.
A lot of miles, and he plays at both ends. So
Yeah.
I mean, he's not one of those, you know, 45 seconds in the offensive zone and get the hell out kind of players. So I'll never say a bad word about that guy. I mean,
for sure. It's frustrating because with the Bulls, you know, kind of, you know, building and firing on, you know, all cylinders, and then you look, you know, at the other side of things, and it's just it's tough to watch Blackhawks games right now. But it is what it is. You know, you got to start building. You got to start looking for the future. Speaking of the future for the Chicago Bears is back this week. Justin Fields is back and has been cleared to play. It is Packers week. Boys, how do you feel about this? It's obviously the season is not going as planned. Do you start, you know, are you excited that Fields is back? Or is it hard to get up for this because it is Packers week? Like, where are you sitting at right now? I mean, 4-8, it is what it is, but, you know, you got your quarterback of the future. Does that at least, you know, kind of light a spark under your ass there?
I understand what's going to happen on Sunday night. The Bears are going to lose, but at least we have something to watch now. We have potential to look for. There's a reason to watch the game. I know it's not going to be exciting in the way of they're going to win, but at least you know that the guy that you want to play quarterback for your future is back out there. He's in a big game. You only understand that atmosphere is if you play in the game. So
right.
he's got to figure out like he says, he talks about the Bears Packers rivalry that goes on, and he gets to play on the road for the first time, and I think it's going to be good for him.
Yeah, I think you got to get those, you know, your guys is, you know, laissez-faire about, you know, already expecting a loss has me a little worried. I'm not going to lie, but
I'm not worried about the win or loss, honestly.
Yeah, you're not going to tie all your emotions.
I'm just excited to see our future quarterback back out there healthy. When somebody gets hurt, you never know what's going to happen.
No, for sure. And I think that, like you said, it's a good test. I mean, you know, the Packers right now are the 4th ranked defense. And it's a good chance for him to go out there and say, hey, like, you know, this is what you're going to have to go through to get, you know, into the playoffs and, you know, go farther than that.
I was listening to Tom Waddle on the Waddle and Sylvie show, and they were talking about people saying something about Justin Fields maybe not playing for the rest of the year if he's hurt or whatever. But if he's medically cleared to play football, you play football. Because the only way that you get more comfortable playing in the NFL is playing.
Yeah, you can't fake that, right? You know, you can't practice game scenarios the way that, you know, you get them in the game. You can, you know, go through the motions and stuff, but it's not the same. You know, anybody that's played sports knows that. You know, you can.
Yeah, I don't want him going out there if he's hurt. You don't want to go out there when you're 50% or something. But if he's medically cleared to play football and he feels good, you got to let him play.
Sounds like what we used to say about D. Rose when he was coming back from injuries and shit.
No, for real. That's not a bad comparison.
Well,
also, did I see Kevin Jenkins?
Well, one thing I want to
Yes.
talk about
Yes.
with Fields real quick is I'm excited, like Zach said, to see him play. Like that's what we have left. You know, the playoffs are out of reach. What I don't want to see, there's no reason to have the kid gloves on the offense anymore either. It's about time to like just let him see what he can do. Open the playbook up. Let's see what the kid's made of. Let's see what he can do with the downfield game. There's no need for the dink and dunk stuff. There's been some metrics that you've seen people tweet out, I'm sure, that like his deep ball percentages in the analytic game have been like top 10 in the league the last five, like his last 4 starts or whatever. So he's got the ability. We know the arm's there. He's mobile as hell, and he started running a lot more the last couple starts too before he got injured. So, I'm pretty pumped to see him play. I just don't want to see the kid gloves on him.
Right. And like you said, Matt, I mean, his deep
There's no
ball has
reason.
been really good this year. And, the Packers secondary's banged up right now. Let him go out and, go at it. Don't, like you said, don't coddle him the whole time. And I think that, if they just let him go out and play his game and not, like you say, try to baby him, just let the kids see what it's like. I mean,
and really, truthfully, you got nothing to lose. I mean,
right. Right. That's just
you're not going to the playoffs.
That's 1,000%.
Just let them go out there and have some fun.
Yeah, exactly. No, for sure. Like I said earlier, Tevin Jenkins medically cleared. Is he going to be playing on Sunday? I'm pretty sure he is.
I'm pretty sure. That's exciting.
Yeah, especially, 3 months ago, we were talking about how, oh my God, this kid has these issues. This was such a dumb draft pick. We knew this when he was in college. Now you're finally getting to see. That's a good second round pick. He was in the 30s. Are you guys excited?
Boomy. Take it easy. Don't let Ryan Pace hear you say that.
Great draft pick. You guys should keep him around another year.
Yeah.
It's a great second round pick, guys. We're going to find out, though. Does that, spark you at all? Like, you get to see this kid?
Yeah, I want to see all the young guys. I want to see as much young guys. I want to see them play. It's all 60 minutes. There's no reason to be trotting out banged up veterans at this point. The playoffs are out of reach. Let the young guys see what you got. You got to see what you got going forward.
Let Allen Robinson sit the rest of the season, honestly.
He doesn't want to play for the Bears.
He doesn't want to play.
Don't force him to shred his knee or anything.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, don't screw the guy over. Also, last Bears note I had, one of the Bears assistant coach has left the team for a job at Nebraska. Is that kind of a kick in the nuts? Nebraska's not a good football team. It'd be one thing if he was leaving for a job at Alabama.
The problem with all the assistant coaches and stuff, like they know that Matt Nagy most likely is going to be fired. They're most likely not going to be there anyways.
Right. Yeah. So is this an abandon all ships kind of motion here?
That's a security move. That's probably I got family move.
Yeah, I got to pay bills. I need to have income next year.
Probably a better job.
Yeah, we'll see. But like you said, maybe that's a little foreshadowing of some stuff we're going to have to talk about in the future with the Bears coaching staff.
Let's hope.
But before we move on, we have to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Connect Roasters. Me and Zach both have the shirts on. Thank you to Connect Roasters for sending us these beautiful T-shirts. I might never take this one off. But it's the best coffee around. Make sure you get your orders in now. Christmas right around the corner. They work with our guy, Dom Frederick, Ian Happ. They love it. Zach loves it. Zach's mom loves it. I would love it if I was a coffee guy. I can just tell. But it is incredible coffee. Make sure you check out their website, connectroasters.com. Follow them on Twitter at Connect Roasters. They're starting to, grow and grow. You can find them in Dom's and Foxtrot Market in the city, but keep your eye on their social media as they continue to grow. So shout out to Connect Roasters. Boys, our media recommendations this week, it's that time of year where, like you said earlier, Zach, maybe we don't want to go outside that much because it's 16 degrees outside and the snow's going to start coming. And we just want to, set up and watch some Netflix while we got games on other TVs. Maybe we just want to listen to some podcasts. Whatever the case is, we've got our media recommendations. Zach, what is your media recommendation this week?
I've been getting into it over the holidays and stuff. I've been kind of looking for something to kind of binge because a lot of shows, especially like Thanksgiving and stuff like that, they kind of shut down for a little bit. I've been watching old episodes of The Dozen Trivia with Jeff D. Lowe. It's a Barstool production. Yep. And Jeff D. Lowe, he does like the lights, camera, Barstool stuff. He hosts it every week, or I think there's 2 a week. And I've been kind of watching them recently too. It's something that doesn't need a timestamp on it. You can watch it whenever. You don't have to.
I'm completely with you here. I love trivia. I love like trivia game shows. And not only does it have that, but it's also the comedic aspect of Barstool. And Jeff D. Lowe is phenomenal. He's a great host. He does all the questions. I couldn't endorse this more. Me and my wife sat down and watched the tournament last year. We were itching for episodes to come out. So I'm completely with you.
Yeah, you can go back to the first one. You don't have to. You don't have to. If you don't have to watch it at any specific time.
Right. It's just like watching reruns of a game show on Game Show Network, you know?
Yep. Great show. I like it. Great concept. Good questions. A lot of good banter. Good show. Good pick.
Especially if you like Barstool, they got all the content people on there.
Yes, absolutely. Maddie, you got one for us?
I do. I actually got two. One thing, real quick. I don't know if anybody's into the really weird, crazy shit, but if you are, Netflix Squid Game. Wow, absolute
phenomenal.
Oh my god,
phenomenal.
Gives you a new appreciation for the game. Red light, green light, right off the bat. So
yes.
No spoilers.
Did you finish the whole thing, Matt?
Yes.
Oh, I watched it in one day.
Yeah, it was crazy. But the one thing I'm really actually looking forward to hasn't happened yet. It's on Saturday night. No college football this weekend, really. We just have the Heisman show, I think, Saturday night, correct? But what I'm actually looking forward to is UFC 269. I got really big into it during the pandemic. One of the first things to come back, for sports-wise. So kind of got into it then because of a buddy of mine. Shout out Chippy. Probably hopefully listening to this podcast when this comes out. But he got me into it and been big into it since. It's fun to gamble on, obviously. But then there's some really good fights this weekend. A couple title fights. Amanda Nunes, the GOAT. She's she's fighting on Saturday night. Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier, title fight for the main event. That should be an absolute a battle. Two good fighters. Bunch of good fights. Sugar Sean. The Sugar Show's
my
back.
God, I love Sean.
That's my favorite fighter in the UFC. I like that guy a lot. He's entertaining as hell. The unranked champ, but he fights on the open the main event, I believe, or the pay-per-view card. Excuse me. So should be a good night of fights for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm love me some Sugar Sean. He's my favorite UFC fighter for sure.
Yeah, and then even in the prelim card, there's a couple good fights too. Tai Tuivasa, the Tui Shui, the guy that slugs the beer out of you after he wins. He fights on Saturday. Yeah, he's a big dude. Kind of makes the big guys feel like they got a spot in the world still. So I like that guy a lot. Pedro Munoz, Dominic Cruz, two really good fighters there too, also on the prelim card. So it should be a good night, like I said.
Absolutely. I'm going to go a little bit different direction here. Many of you know I'm a big high school basketball fan, part of my job. But there is a podcast done by Michael O'Brien, and I think I've talked about this in the past, but it's starting back up because high school basketball is back in full effect. Michael O'Brien of the Chicago Sun-Times, who covers high school sports, him and Joe, Christ, I can't remember the guy's last name, but from the Suburban Hoops Prep Report, they do a podcast called No Shot Clock Podcast, and it's about high school basketball in Illinois, and they're short episodes once a week, 30, 40 minutes. Hop on there if you follow high school sports. There's a lot of really good talent in the state. A couple kids from the city already committed to Illinois here in the future. There's one from Harvey Thornton, one from St. Rita. And these two guys know more. These guys have forgot more about college basketball in the state of Illinois than most people know. So No Shot Clock Podcast from Michael O'Brien from the Sun-Times. And also,
real quick, I've never heard the podcast. Absolutely great name for a high school basketball podcast.
Absolutely.
I had to mention that. I'm sorry. I like that name.
No, it's
a high school basketball podcast.
Give it a shot, Maddie, over the Christmas time when you need something, throw it on. It's definitely worth a listen. They cover, and it's obviously Chicago centric because those guys are from Chicago and the suburb areas. But, Michael O'Brien was down in Tuscola at the beginning of the year, and, they cover all the teams from around the state. It's definitely worth a listen. But also, if you're a stand-up comedy fan like myself, there was an episode of My Next Guest Needs No Introduction with David Letterman, and he did an episode with Dave Chappelle. I watched that recently. Dave Chappelle's one of my favorite comedians of all time. So if you're into stand-up comedy. Make sure you check that episode out. All right, boys, let's jump into some college football. Last weekend was conference championship weekend, and it did not disappoint. Starting things out, UTSA wins the Conference USA championship. They finished the season with 1 loss. Oregon got absolutely thumped in the Pac-12 championship. At one point, they were ranked number 3 or 4 in the college football rankings. NIU opens up Saturday. Shout out to the Huskies, worst to first. They dismantle Kent State 41-23 to win the MAC. 0-6 last year, and then come out and win the whole
negative point differential on the year too. Wild way to end up with the record they did. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, think you lose to Michigan by like 40, and then literally all their wins were within 7 points. This was the first win in the conference season they had that was more than 7
See,
points.
I think that kind of sucks. Like, you played Michigan.
Right.
Yeah, you're supposed to get beat by 45.
Like that shouldn't even be on your record.
Yeah,
they got smashed too.
No, for sure. They and
the team that's in the playoff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Baylor loses to Oklahoma, or Baylor beat Oklahoma State, I'm sorry, on one of the wildest sequence of events. At the end of that game, Oklahoma State losing out on a chance to play in the college football playoff. Could not get in from the 2-yard line. That was wild. One of our favorite teams we've talked about all year, San Diego State, got absolutely pummeled by Utah State in the Mountain West Championship.
I supported that team all year, and I went down in flames with them on Saturday too.
Yeah, that was. I mean, we've talked about them damn near every week, just because it's always the late game, and they got absolutely pummeled. UL Lafayette wins the Sun Belt over Appalachian State, and then kind of the I don't know if I'd say surprise, but the biggest one of the week, Alabama handles business against Georgia, beats them 41-24, really secures their shot in the college football playoff. Made Georgia look not very good, but we'll get to that in just a little bit. Cincinnati was was up 1 at half. They end up coming out in the second half to beat Houston 35-20 to win the ACC. Or I'm sorry, the AAC. I said that wrong. In a wild game, Wake Forest and Pitt was a close one at half. Pitt pulled away 45-21 at the end, and then Iowa got absolutely demolished by Michigan, 42-3. Shout out.
Michigan was not going to lose that game.
No,
100 times. They were not going to lose that Saturday.
Well, Iowa ran one play the whole game.
Yeah. Halfback dive.
Yeah, you could have. I mean, Michigan was. It didn't matter what Iowa was going to do. 100 out of 100 times, Michigan was going to beat them.
Yeah. They were just, I mean, it felt like the entire game.
It's the whole Big Brother thing. We do everything that you don't do, or we do everything that you do better, way better.
Yeah,
just way better. Everything you try to do, we do way better.
Iowa just could never find a rhythm, and I like Zach said that the play calling was questionable at best.
And let's not forget Michigan. Everyone talks about their defense, and rightfully so. Their offense the last probably 6 weeks has been outstanding from where they came from.
You put up 42 on a good, I mean, for what has been a pretty good Iowa defense. I mean, So let's get into it. The Final Four, Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Alabama 3, and Cincinnati 4. Did they get the correct Final Four, gentlemen?
Probably, yes. They got the right teams.
Yeah.
They got the right 4 teams. You can make an argument the order is debatable. I mean, Michigan could make a claim that they should get the 1, but Alabama's loss was less impactful, I think, than Michigan's loss.
Yeah,
I think Alabama losing to A&M is, it's not that bad of a loss.
Right. And Michigan State, I mean, that's what's kind of still Texas A&M is still a better loss, if that makes any sense. It's just a different league down there.
The win over Ohio State might be it's as impressive, I think, as Alabama's win over.
Oh, absolutely.
Georgia. So, and I think that's Alabama's. That's clearly Alabama didn't have a ton of great wins outside of that Georgia game.
Right. And I mean, what was it, like 13 days before that? I mean,
They
they barely
beat Auburn.
yeah,
A miracle.
in an overtime, weird,
Yeah.
thing.
Crazy how it shakes out, and then all of a sudden they skyrocket to the 1 seed, and all of a sudden you don't get the Georgia Bama rematch until the national title game, most possibly. So the way it all
Right.
shakes out.
Right, and they weren't going to line up Georgia and Alabama in the
Right.
in the semifinal. They're just never going to do that. But
and now Cincinnati's in. See if you can you do something? Can you do something now that you're in the playoff? I mean, all year it's been, are they going to get in? Are they actually going to let them get in? And then they let them in, and they get Alabama.
Good luck. Yeah, good luck. I know
Welcome
the spread.
to the dance.
I believe the spread is 13.5. Checking that for accuracy. Yeah,
I think
13.5.
if it gets back over 14, I'm taking Cincy. I think Cincy, the one thing they do have is corners. And Mechie being out for Alabama is one less deep field threat that they have to neutralize. So I don't think they're going to get their doors blown off like the way Georgia did, because I don't think they're going to get away with attacking Cincinnati the way they did Georgia, because Cincinnati's secondary is better than Georgia's. They got the two best corners two of the top 5 corners in the country. Sauce Gardner's going to be a top 15 pick.
And a top 5 name of all time.
It's great.
I will take Alabama at any spread you give me.
I just think Cincinnati is going to gunk the game up. I think they've got the ability to try to slow that thing down a little bit. And I don't think Alabama's going to blow their doors off. Let's not forget, this is an Alabama team that struggled with a lot of teams
with
that
Florida.
are nowhere near as good as Cincinnati this year. This Alabama team, I just don't think. I think they attacked Georgia, they punched them in the mouth, and they just stepped on the throat. And they exposed Stetson Gardner as much as anything. I think that's what they did, because they turned that game into a track meet, knowing Georgia can't keep up with the track meet.
I do worry about Cincinnati's ability to score on that defense, and I'm not saying this is the best Alabama defense, but
it's a fair argument.
I think it's Williams' kid they got at the defensive end. That kid is a freak. It's.
I think Cincinnati is going, and they're gonna. This is their fucking Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
This is the movie script that you're all waiting for them. So I just think there is something to Cincinnati, what they can bring to that game.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't see it.
I think that the Georgia Michigan game is going to be
senior quarterback
phenomenal.
and Desmond Ritter does not get rattled. He's not going to get fucking rattled. That's one thing he's not. He went into Notre Dame. He played there. That wasn't an issue for him at all. He's played in big games. He's played in bowl games. They beat Georgia. Did they beat Georgia last year in the bowl game, or did they not?
Oh.
Cincinnati?
Who did they play in the bowl game last year? I'm drawing a blank, because they were undefeated last year, I think, too.
No, they had one loss, I believe.
Then it was the bowl game they lost. I'm pretty sure it was.
We're having a long conversation about a team who's going to last about 2 seconds in the playoff.
They lost to Georgia on a field goal. That was their only loss of the season.
I thought they played Georgia. See, they lost by a field goal. It's not like they got housed.
Yeah.
Good Georgia.
Well, in a bowl game that meant nothing to Georgia. Probably a lot of their players probably didn't play because they're going to go to the draft.
Yeah, and there's no way that Alabama wouldn't come in and overlook fucking a team like Cincinnati either.
Yeah.
Well, because literally they said they never been the underdogs, and then they go in, they beat Georgia, and then they get to play a team that everybody wants to win. I mean, that's just another way that they're going to back against the wall, because not really back against the wall, but everyone wants them to lose. I mean, everyone wants Cincinnati to win.
Yeah. I think
no one wants Alabama
to lose just about every game they play anymore, though.
Right.
Well, I understand that, but this is bigger than that, because they finally let the non-Power 5 school in the playoff.
Do you think they're just going to come in and just say, "You're welcome to the house. We're going to drag the shit out of you," kind of thing? I don't hate that argument. I could see them. I could see Saban go, like, "Welcome to the big leagues. Now we're going to beat the shit out of you." Kind of.
Oh yeah, I think that Saban's going to not want it to even be close, because this is also a game. If it even stays close, that looks bad for Alabama in a way. Saban wants this game to be not even close.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
I'm just saying, yes, everyone wants Alabama to lose every game, but this is way different than any other game they played because, like you said, this is that everyone was like, "Oh, Cincinnati's got to be in. Cincinnati's got to be in." Now they're in. Now we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I definitely think Saban's going to use that for the next month. Like they let these, non-power
just like
five
Notre Dame a
scrubs
few
in.
years ago. Notre
Do you
Dame
think
wanted
that's
in
the
that
right
tournament.
As a coach, though,
Knowing Nick Saban, he's going to say, well, they're a very good opponent, and we have to handle, their, their air attack, and obviously Alabama having the year. But
the only thing I'm saying,
you got a feeling.
The only thing I'm saying, it's not like Cincinnati has a freshman quarterback in this untested, unproven.
They wouldn't
defense.
be here if they did.
Well, they got a senior quarterback who's been through the wars and played a lot of fucking football. I think that matters.
Remember when Jordan Lynch played Florida State?
Let's not compare.
That was unnecessary.
Here. Come on.
I'm just saying. We're talking. I mean, we'll move on, but we'll keep talking about this for a while. But we're talking Cincinnati. We're over Alabama, who just beat the team that everyone thought was going to win.
I just said I think they're going to keep it close. That's all I said.
My guy Jordan Lynch did not deserve that ricochet shot. All right, he's a fine quarterback.
I'm just saying we're just talking him up like.
Okay, sorry, I won't talk about Cincinnati.
Oh well, we got a month before this game. We're going to dig deep into this. So there'll be a lot of college football talk. But let's move into our NFL pick show. It is week 14. Right now, Zach is still in the lead at 43-37. I am in second at 42-36.
Hey, would Cincinnati beat the Jets or Jaguars?
No, there's no NFL team that would lose to a college team ever in the history of everness.
Never.
But the Jets are pretty bad. The Texans.
The Jaguars are pretty bad. I think the Jaguars are way worse than the Jets.
I think
the Jets are actually. I guess I shouldn't even say the Jets aren't horrible. Their defense is consistent.
I still think the Texans are the worst team in the NFL. But anyway, like I said, Zach's in first place, 43-37. I'm a game behind him at 42-36-2. Maddie is at 37-43, and Pigoy is at 17-13. Have to make sure I mention the asterisk. He did not start till week 9.
Wasn't Matt the only one that had a positive week last week?
Yes, Matt went 4-2. I went 3-3.
I'm pretty sure Pigoy went 0 didn't he?
Pigoy won his first game of the weekend on Arizona -7.5, and then he continued to lose the remaining games, so he went 1-5. You hate to see it. But let's go ahead and get it started. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Baltimore +2.5 on the road at Cleveland. I don't think Cleveland's very good.
I'm going to have to go. Sorry, I'm going Browns -2.5.
What have the Browns done this year that have given you any confidence that they're going to?
What the Ravens done?
The Ravens have the second best record in the AFC.
Well, I know, but the games have been. I'm just saying.
I think
Browns are playing well.
Much better.
One of my picks is in this game too, and it's Cleveland. I think Baltimore is reeling, dude. That is not a dangerous team at all right now.
Lamar is running for his life out there.
This is not MVP Lamar Jackson. Let's just put it that way.
Well, his team's not as good either.
No, Cleveland's in must-win territory. They're desperate. They're at home. I think it's a spot that I think this is where Cleveland brings their A game. Absolutely. I think
I'm a little jaded. I've bet on Cleveland too many times this year, and it just has not gone my way. But I also think that if Baltimore's jockeying for positioning right now, and they're not out of the 1 seed, which gets you the only bye, I still think they're just a better football team. There's nothing about Cleveland that gives me any.
I think Baltimore's an overrated 8-4 team. I don't think they're a threat at all in the AFC.
Yeah, I don't disagree. It's hard. I don't trust Cincinnati.
At home under 3 now. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a dangerous Cleveland team, especially the way they run the ball.
In the second noon game, I'm going to take the Saints -5 on the road at the Jets. Again, I don't know why that number just seems low, and I know that the Saints are not playing well, but I think you're just seeing what the Jets are, and I don't think they're that good. I mean, they're 3-9. It is what it is, but I mean, if they're going to start Zach Wilson this week.
This isn't even a joke. My bet is Jets plus 5.5. So I feel real good about my picks now.
If my pick is not in this game, but I will say I'm likely to bet the Jets if they're at 5.5 like they are right now.
Looks like we got two smart guys and one dumb guy.
New Orleans is terrible. My pick.
So are the Jets. The Jets are bad.
They're at home. That
matters. Chance. Have you been
Jets
watching football? They're not that bad.
Team. They're a bottom 5 NFL football team.
Not a bottom 5 defense.
They stink.
You want Taysom Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take Taysom Hill over Zach Wilson right now.
Battle of the Mormons.
God.
Battle of the Mormons.
Take it back.
You didn't
take it back. Taysom Hill is not a quarterback.
Not good.
Insane take.
But he just came back.
Insane take. That's not even a take. That's just an infactual. That's just incorrect. Zach Wilson is a better quarterback than Taysom
for this week.
Yes, for every week.
Yes. Every week of the rest of their careers, Taysom Hill will be not as good as Zach Wilson.
No, I'm not saying to build a franchise around. I'm just saying
right now. Yeah, right now.
I'm taking Taysom Hill. I don't trust Zach Wilson.
Throw the football.
That is insane.
Zach Wilson can?
Yes.
He's got a rifle.
See, one guy's a professional quarterback and one guy is like a wildcat quarterback.
Zach Wilson has almost thrown twice as many interceptions as he has touchdowns this year.
What did you see from Taysom Hill?
This team's not very good. I mean,
you're saying that Zach Wilson can't do this one thing. Zach Wilson can do a lot of things. He's a good athlete. He's got a rifle for an arm. What does Taysom Hill do? He can run. That's it.
He's a triple threat. He can run. He can throw. He can play tight end.
Well, that's awesome. You know what?
Can't the guy?
You know what I want?
Probably drives the team bus to the airport.
I would love my quarterback to play tight end. That's what I want.
The four pick game right off the bat. Not impressed.
That was not good.
No.
But yeah,
gross. Taysom Hill. That guy's.
That was a horrible take.
We'll see.
If they had, we'll see. We're gonna see over their careers who's better.
I didn't say career. I said for Sunday.
No.
Yeah, still.
No thanks.
Can they play on Sunday?
That's a really good question, Matt. I don't have an answer for you.
My other noon game, KC, they're absolutely steaming hot. I think the Raiders are. It's been a rough way to get to 6-6 for them. They fired their coach, obviously, or whatever, stepped down, fired, whatever, over the email issue with the Washington football team. Obviously, the Henry Ruggs, the DUI crash. That team has it's been a rough year. And KC is absolutely scorching hot right now. Their defense is playing really well. Offense is starting to click again, too. I think Kansas City's going to blow the doors off them.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. I'm not betting against.
I'm seeing 9.5 right now. If
that's what I got it at.
If I see it stays under 10, that's a game to hammer, in my opinion.
Moving to the afternoon games, I don't know why I think I like this team in the AFC. And granted, their opponent's been playing much better. I'm going to take Cincinnati plus 1.5 at home versus the 49ers. I think it's one of those times where, they're the 6th seed right now. You got to stay in it. You're in it right now, but you got to stay there. And they're at home. You got to take care of business. They've struggled a little bit here recently. I'm just not sold. I know Matt probably has 49ers minus 1.5.
He bet 49ers money line this week.
I just don't. I mean, they're playing well right now, but also I think
whatever Chance does, me and Maddie are just going to do the opposite.
And it's not that one I didn't even plan, but that's the only bet I've made for this week is the 49ers so far. Money line.
I also hate the afternoon slate.
The 3 o'clock games have been terrible lately.
Yeah. Zach, who do you got?
Don't you pick 2?
Oh, yeah. I'll go ahead. I have Denver plus 8 is what I've got it at now. Plus 8.5.
We're riding together on a game.
Did I write that as plus 8? It's
I've got a minus 8.5.
Minus 8.5. Okay, so minus 8.5 Denver. I think the Lions, they got their win. Season's over.
I agree. 100%. That's my other pick for 3 o'clock as well. So I'm going against you in one. I'm with you on the other.
I am going to go Chargers -10 against the Giants. Is that a 3 o'clock game?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then Bucks -3.5 against the Bills. I don't think the Bills are very good right now.
Bills might be dead.
Yeah, they did not look good.
You lose by on 3 passes. I mean, 3 passes.
That's
rough.
so.
Zach,
does it worry you? With the Chargers, I mean that does seem like a lot. I know the Giants are really bad, but
I think the Chargers are kind of underrated a little bit.
They've been so like I bet if we asked if we asked every single week, are the Chargers overrated or underrated, it would literally change like every 2 weeks, I think. Because they start winning a couple games, everybody's like, oh, they're getting hot, and then they drop one they shouldn't. Right now, they are the 5 seed.
Hey, Boomy, who's a better quarterback right now? Taysom Hill or Justin Herbert?
Yeah.
Justin Herbert. That's.
Are you sure?
Taysom Hill is really good on the goal line.
Can Justin Herbert play tight end?
I don't think
so. No, he can't.
Play tight end if you need to.
Fucking Madden.
Justin Herbert can't play tight end.
Sunday night Bears.
I knew that was coming. That's a bad pick.
I'm only taking Green Bay for this contest. That's it. I don't want to talk about it.
I'm taking Bears.
I will say that's a lot of points. NFC North. I know the Bears are not good.
Shut up.
I mean,
stupid
guy. Too many points. I'm getting too many points. I'd hate to have all the points.
I'm just being honest. I'm a little worried about Sunday. Something weird's going to happen, and I don't like it.
You see
Shane
your
McClellan's
stupid quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, goes, I used to be a Cubs fan.
Yeah, Shut up. A guy. I can't believe you guys hate this guy.
Shane McClellan going to happen?
There's no need to bring that. What is the deal? We're going at my guy Jordan Lynch. You bring up Shane McClellan. I mean.
Hey, just saying, look out. Sometimes you got to watch your back.
No kidding.
Unfortunately, I don't think the Bears defenders will get to Aaron Rodgers.
Robert Quinn, he's a bad man right now.
On the Monday night game. Offsides.
Yeah, valid.
That was unbelievable.
Great point, Zach.
Unacceptable.
That was insane.
It's crazy.
That's not talked about enough.
No.
A guy whose job it is to play football lined up too far twice.
He was Defensive Player of the Month.
Yeah. Like he had, I think he almost had a sack like 2 plays after that.
It's so crazy, dude.
He's really good if you can get him to stay on side.
Like just back up a little bit.
Ridiculous.
They got to tell the linebacker behind him, just go in and tap him a little bit. Like, hey, just nudge back.
You can even ask the ref; they'll tell you before the snap.
Yeah, seriously.
Am I good? Am I good?
He didn't care.
Yeah, that's tough. Monday night, it's a get-right game. They're spiraling. I'm taking the Rams plus 2.5.
Oh, my gosh. Cardinals minus 2.5. Unfortunately, I saw how good their defense was. Kyler Murray, good. Rams, they're right now.
It's a get-right game. They haven't won a game since October. It's going to happen. It's going to happen on the big stage.
I'm pretty sure they won last week.
Did they?
I'm pretty sure.
That's a good question. I was kind of shooting from the hip on that one.
They haven't won.
Oh, they played Jacksonville. That doesn't count as an actual win.
You just said they wouldn't lose to a college team.
Oh, sorry. I forgot the Rams and the Jaguars scored. Shoot me.
But I'm just saying, you're saying they lost 5 weeks ago, and it was actually a week ago.
Well, now they're building off of that Jaguars win, and they're still going to get right in the division.
Your father would not like this slander of his
No one watched
team.
that game. Literally 0 people watched Los Angeles.
Your dad watched it.
No, there's no chance.
We'll see.
Maddie, who you got Monday night?
It's one of those, like, my football brain says the Cardinals should beat that team by like 100 right now. Like the Rams suck. They've been such a sketchy team, such a weird, like just a weird roster of just like guys who have a ton of talent and just doesn't seem like they play right. You know what I mean? Like there's just something they always leave you wanting more. It seems like. That said, the gambling side of me says you got to take the Rams only the way that like everything is going. There's like such heavy movement. The Rams opened up, as a basically a pick, It's gone to -2. So a
Yeah.
lot of money coming in, a lot of the bets coming in on the Cardinals right now. So it's one of those. I think the Cardinals are a way better team. Like, I think the Cardinals are the best team in the NFC, probably them and Green Bay. Oh, give me a break, dude. Don't hurt yourself, smacking yourself on the back, all right? But like the Cardinals, it's just one of those. I think it's a desperation game. I think the Rams want to try to get back in the division race. They have to win this game if they want to do that. So, I think this is a good spot for the Rams if you're betting on it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game regardless because, I mean, like you said.
Great Monday night game. Definitely a great Monday
Absolutely.
night game, finally.
Right now, the Cardinals are the 1 seed. Rams are the 5 seed. So, I mean, they're really borderline there. And obviously, they have the 49ers nipping at their heels. Matt, I don't think I typed it out right.
Really well. What's that?
You did say, Matt,
Rams.
So you went Cleveland, Kansas City, San Francisco, Denver, Green Bay, Arizona?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to double check on that. I thought I typed something in the wrong spot, but we're all good. This is the week I get back into first place, so make sure you follow those picks there.
Well, you said Cleveland, KC for the noon, right? Cleveland, KC for the noon?
Yes.
Yep.
Cleveland, right. KC. All right. Let's wrap things up with our TCF top 3 this week. And because the bowl games have been announced, we are doing the 2021 bowl games, the top 3 games. Games we're looking forward to, matchups, whatever it might be. I'm going to let myself go first, and that's because this is simple, boys. I got to take my Huskies. We are playing the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, which still not even sure a Chanticleer is an actual animal, but we'll get to that later. The game is on Friday, December 17th at 6 p.m. I think it's going to be a good game. Coastal obviously had the season they did last year, didn't make it back to the Sun Belt Championship, but had a really solid season. And kind of the Huskies, another opportunity. I mean, just like the MAC Championship, you had an opportunity, national TV, playing for the conference championship. Don't let it be, it seems like NIU in the past has gotten to bowl games, and then it's been a big letdown. I believe they've only won 2.
We just talked about it.
Yeah, yeah, that one obviously. But even when, the years before when I was a student there, like they'd go play like Arkansas State and like the GoDaddy.com Bowl. And just not play very well. I felt like they were almost just happy to be there. I hope we don't see that, go in and take care of business and let the chips fall where they may. So I'm going to take the Cure Bowl as my number 1. We got NIU and Coastal Carolina. Zach, who do you got for your first round pick?
It's the Hawaii Bowl. It's Hawaii versus Memphis, Christmas Eve, 8 p.m. Perfect.
Great pick.
I think it's literally the only game on.
Yeah, it's the only game that day, and it's 8 o'clock.
That's awesome.
What did you say the matchup was there?
Hawaii and Memphis. One of the teams who else would play in the Hawaii Bowl?
Well, I obviously knew that.
What if one year Hawaii gets really good and like goes to the Sugar Bowl? Like, who plays in the Hawaii Bowl?
That happened when I was like 2005 when I was in high school. I believe they just took 2 West Coast teams. And whatever that game is, whatever the over is, I'm taking. I don't care if they set it at 85 because Memphis can score quickly.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, give me the over in that. I'm already going to bet that. Maddie, you get 2 picks here.
Well, you took my idea with yours. I'm going to go with my alma mater as well. Western Michigan is in the Quick Lane Bowl in Detroit at Ford Field against Nevada. Doubt Carson Strong is going to play, which would make that game a little more interesting, obviously. But I think Western Michigan laying 3. It does seem like the casinos tend to think Carson Strong's probably not going to play in that game based on that point spread, in my opinion. Probably one of the top quarterbacks in the draft, so it's hard to blame him in that one. Looking forward to that game. The other one, the Cheez-It Bowl, always a great bowl, always a great game, always a great bowl to go to. But good game this year too. Clemson and Iowa State. I've been a big I was big on Iowa State at the beginning of the season. Brock Purdy, I thought, was a possible Heisman candidate. That team just flamed out, but they do have a ton of talent. Hope to see everybody on that team still playing in that game. It'd be interesting if they do or not, but that should be a really, really good game with a lot of talent, and always fun to see Dabo on his heels a little bit too.
Yeah, I think, like you said, and there's going to be some pro talent there too.
Sure. Definitely.
You got to make sure if you're betting these random bowl games, you got to make sure
check the roster.
Who's on the roster?
Yeah. This is not a time of year to start betting early. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah. You got to wait till day of game on that one. Zach, what's your second rounder?
I'm going to go to the Boca Raton Bowl, Appalachian State versus Western Kentucky, December 18th, which is a Tuesday, 11 a.m.
That's beautiful. That is a beautiful thing. And that sounds like a lot of points. I don't know. Boca Raton and points just seem like they go hand in hand.
Appalachian State, Western Kentucky, I feel like the offenses are just going to – they're going to let it go.
Yep. I love that one. For my second round pick, give me the Peach Bowl. We've got Thursday, December 30th, Michigan State and Pitt. Now, assuming everybody plays in this game, I think this has an opportunity to be a very good game. Pitt obviously wins the ACC championship. I think that, Michigan State had a really solid year. I think there's two kind of second-tier teams when you talk about, the top 10 in the country. Both had good seasons. I like both of these programs. Excuse me. I will take the Peach Bowl for my second round pick. And you know what? I'm going to have to do it. Give me the Orange Bowl, Michigan, Georgia. I think that's going to be a phenomenal matchup too. Obviously, Georgia comes off the loss, but they've had a dominating season. Michigan gets hot at the right time. So you kind of have that old, do you go with the team that's, clicking on all cylinders right now, or the team that's, kind of been steady throughout the year? I think that is going to be a phenomenal game. So I will take
it confuses me that the bowl games are still like the playoff games. I think it should be different.
Yeah, because that's how they get the sponsorship money,
Well, I know. Well, I think they should have enough for this, like the playoff itself.
Yeah, no, I agree. It is a little
My
weird.
last one is the Fiesta Bowl, Notre Dame, Oklahoma State, two teams that could have been the playoff. And everything around Notre Dame is just going to be fun to watch.
Give me the under.
Yeah.
That seems like a big
two
under.
Good defenses.
Matty, you're muted. I thought we were going to get through a whole episode.
No, got to do it once. No, the one game I'm looking forward to, as you guys can tell, I'm kind of into the weird bowl games, the bowl games that are a little bit more of a wild card aspect to it, half-empty crowds and things like that. But mine is the Duke's Mayo Bowl, the battle for the Carolinas, North Carolina versus South Carolina, being played in Charlotte at Bank of America Stadium. Battle for the two states right there in Charlotte, right near South Carolina.
Did you see what their Twitter did today?
Yeah, good night, Carolinas. There's something, we love you or something like that. Yeah, thought it was hilarious.
No, it was so I think Bobby Wagner from Seattle said he didn't like Mayo, so they quote tweeted it and put their standings and Seattle was in last place, and then it got it went huge, went viral or whatever, and then they replied
Check
to it
out
and goes,
SoundCloud, Duke's
yeah, and
Mayo
it's just
Bowl.
their website.
That's awesome.
Good Twitter account, obviously.
Yeah,
definitely a
perfect.
good Twitter account. But no, that should be fun. Obviously the South Carolina, North Carolina effect. Sam Howell did announce that he's going to play in the game too, so that's kind of cool. You get one of the best QBs in the country still one last time. So always cool to get a team that is going to be kind of playing their A game as much as possible.
No, for sure. That's a good one there. I am very curious. I know we talk a lot of Barstool on here, but the Barstool Bowl, they buy their own way into a bowl, and I'm excited. I don't think it's going to be a fantastic game or anything like that. It's Boise State and Central Michigan. But just to kind of see how, like we talked about it, the cutting of the cords and the streaming, like it's a game that's only being streamed online. So it'll be interesting to see how Barstool puts their spin on that and how the numbers do with, just being streamed.
And everyone streams nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Dude, they had 50,000 people watching Big Cat play fucking PlayStation 2. So
yeah, I think it's a good way to showcase the future.
And IU was close. They were in the hat selection.
I know that would have been nice. I might have had to think about an Arizona trip.
1 year maybe.
I think they'll be just fine. I don't know if you guys heard on the Portnoy show that he was talking about that they reached out to Musburger to do the play-by-play. You get Brent Musburger in a broadcast that you can talk about gambling. Sign me up.
Well, yeah, because they are announcing it. They're doing everything.
Yeah.
So It's going to be
So they're
awesome.
talking about if he doesn't do it, it'll probably be Jake Marsh with Big Cat and Portnoy.
That'd be
and
awesome.
Colors.
Jake Marsh is the best.
Yeah. He's that kid probably will be a well-known broadcaster at some point.
Yeah, I watched the clips of him announcing the MAAC games over the weekend. He's really
platform
good.
with Barstool is perfect too. So he gets a little bit of shine and doesn't have to have a lot of pressure on some of these spots,
No, for sure. But it's bowl season, it's gambling season, boys. We can't complain. But we'd like to thank all of you for joining us for episode 121 of Typical Chicago Fans. Make sure you check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Give those pages a like. Follow us on Twitter at typical_Chicago. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. Make sure to check out our sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee, connectroasters.com, or on Twitter at Connect Roasters. Make sure you check them out for your Christmas gifts. Only 2 weeks away. Make sure you get your orders in ASAP. Speaking of Christmas gifts, Beer Baseball Repeat on Instagram. Get yourself some TCF merch. I got to put my order in here immediately because I have slacked on my Christmas gifts. So everybody's getting TCF shirts. Make sure you check out Beer Baseball Repeat on Instagram. Make sure to follow Maddie at schools_01 and Zach at Z Lilia TCF. You can find me there as well at Boomy TCF. But we'd like to thank you for your support and checking out episode 121 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.